This is 9 News at 5. WUSA 9 News. First in the nation's capital in high definition.
You could call it the revenge of the gym class nerds.
Coming up at 9 Sports, we'll hit the dodgeball court, where local men are replaying a game from their childhood. Did you ever get hit by a flying rubber ball at high speed?
No.
Well,
yes, I have. I hit that back.
I think in the dodgeball thing, you were probably the offensive guy,
No.
and maybe there's some people in the room who are on the receiving end of some of those.
We call it elimination.
I think you were the tough guy.
It was me.
I think you were the tough guy who was beating on all the nerds.
You know what I did once in dodgeball?
I was a nerd.
In 6th grade?
What?
I made a pack at lunch to be on the 8th grade team, and I turned on them. Bad
you were
idea.
like a traitor, dodgeball.
Bad idea.
Oh, that's where you get that
All right, we don't have
from.
time for a story now, but it was fun talking about dodgeball.
No, it was interesting, though, and I want to know more about Topper's, insecurities from his 12-year-old years. It doesn't matter how accomplished an athlete you are. There was a time in your childhood when you were less coordinated than you are now that you found yourself on the business end of one of those red utility balls. We all remember what those looked and sounded like. Yes, the chief tool of violence and humiliation in middle school gym class was the dodgeball. And just when you had buried those memories in a dark, private place, as Joyce Jackson reports, they're back.
Dodgeball, the carefree game of our youth, has transformed into an activity where the little guy can now prove why he should have been picked back in 3rd grade gym class.
I take this very personally. It's
dodgeball.
For us kids, who couldn't quite make it on the playground, now that we're a little bigger, maybe got a little bigger, it's time for us to take it to the dodgeball court. I'm serious.
You ready? Go! The Virginia Sport and Health Club was just looking for a way to utilize some empty space. Director Greg Roman threw out an idea, and now people from all walks of life are pelting each other with balls.
When you first tell them you're going to do dodgeball, they absolutely laugh and just think you're crazy. And then when they've come out and done this, then they have a ball.
It's just such a wonderful opportunity that, they've given us to come back out here and play around like kids again.
The game is basically the same from when we were kids. You have to remember the 5 principles of dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. In other words, don't get hit by anybody. Oh, man, you got me. Joey, you out here breathing hard. Is it that hard, Joey?
Well, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It gets tiring at the time, after a few games. But, yeah, it is tiring.
The newfound affinity for dodgeball started in Chicago back in the year 2000 and has been fueled by the 2004 release of the motion picture Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story, a film these average Joes can identify with.
Favorite scene? Actually, you know what? There's a guy that used to come around here at Skyline. He was in that movie.
Oh, okay.
He was the Asian guy in one of the Japan team. He did a little flip move in the air in slow motion. I thought that was
cool. Each team will try to duck and dodge its way to a big payday in February. That's when they will compete in the 2nd largest dodgeball tournament in the country, with prize money totaling $11,000.
Yeah! Dodge this, baby!
I'm Joyce Jackson for 9 Sports.
Joyce, thank you very much. So you knew you got it good in gym class when it hit you in the face, and then you could read Spalding, right on the side of your face. And we had a couple of questions. There are 3 ways you can score. If you catch, the guy who threw it at you is out.
Right.
If you hit the guy, then he's out. But also you can use the ball as a defense mechanism. So if the guy is throwing one at you and you're holding another ball, you can use the ball to deflect the incoming ball, and then you're not out.
But that's not a point.
That's not a point. It's just a defensive mechanism, but very good nuance that you picked up there.
But this is fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless you get nailed in the toque, and then it's not so much fun.
We're going to play it at 6:30.
Yeah, right in here. Studio's big enough for that.
It is.
Thank you, Brett.
Yeah.
9 News at 6 begins in a few minutes.